Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I will be receiving on January 5th, 2023 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. So as I said in my introduction, this is a budget with me for the paycheck I'm receiving on January 5th, 2023. This is going to be the first budget with me in my newest version of my budget book, which is a combination of a couple of different versions of the printable Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing more of an in-depth flip through of what my budget book is looking like for this year, I do have that video and I can link it up here. I think it should have gone live by the time this budget with me is posting. But as we open up my planner, my budget book, I should say, we're gonna skip straight to the January monthly spread, and I am going to try and zoom in just a little bit more. So basically, the January monthly spread is going to be laid out very, very similarly to how I laid things out last year. I do always start with a Monday start in my monthly calendar. I have my paychecks listed on the side over here. The bills that I'm going to pay with those corresponding paychecks are listed in my monthly spread. A little bit different this year from last year is that I'm not using this more generic highlighter yellow color to indicate savings challenges. That's just going to be one of the colors that I use to indicate paychecks. My savings challenge colors are going to be this darker purple or this bright Kelly green. Normal savings challenges that I'm doing are going to be in that purple color. My 52-week challenge will always be in that green color. So as you can see, we already have some stuff that's checked off in the month of January. My first paycheck isn't until the 5th of the month, and so these bills here, really just my rent and then savings challenges, I did contribute to them with the last paycheck I received in December, which is listed up here. For this paycheck, stuff that is listed in this orange color will be paid, and then of course savings challenge contributions will need to be factored in. If we flip to the next page, I'm going to zoom you all into my paycheck budget tracker. Now, I did receive a raise towards the end of 2022, and it wasn't ever reflected in my budgeted income in December 2022 because I didn't actually know what that was going to be until my second paycheck, and I filmed my second budget with me in December a little bit early. So you will see that when we start in the income section here of the paycheck budget tracker, that instead of my usual $3,000, I'm budgeting my income to be $3,100. In terms of our bills, we did just have two things listed on our monthly spread. My Spotify, which is due on the 7th and is usually about $11, as well as something new. I did join a gym in, I think, November of 2022, and so me pulling out for the small group classes that I take each month, that's due on the 5th and it's $65. My bills added up together do equal $76, and if I subtract that from the $3,100 we're budgeting my income to be, we're left with $3,024, which is what I'm bringing down to the envelope section of the paycheck budget tracker. Now, the envelope section is the same thing as a variable expense section. This is basically for things that you know you're going to need to spend money on during the pay period, but you don't have set amounts for. For me, my categories for my variable expenses always stay the same: groceries, eating out, gas, and miscellaneous. But for 2023, I have changed some of the values. So I am still going to be budgeting $200 for groceries. Eating out has gone up from $75 to $100. Gas has stayed the same at $75, and miscellaneous has gone up from $150 to $175. If I add all of these values together, it does equal $550. And if I subtract that from the $3,024 we were left with after paying my bills, we have $2,474 left. That's what we're going to bring up to the sinking fund section of the Paycheck Budget Tracker. If you have been watching my budget with me, you'll know that I actually started saving for my 2023 sinking funds in, I think, September 2022. Saving or starting to save a little bit early allows me to have to pull less cash from each of my paychecks, which is great. I like that. So getting a head start is always really important to me. In closing out my budget for 2022, I actually realized that I had already hit my goal on one of my sinking funds. So as we're going through this list here, you are going to see some new sinking funds for 2023, things that I have not been contributing to since September. But you'll notice that my birthday sinking fund is missing, and that is because I reached my goal at the end of 2022. Now, if you watch my last cash envelope stuffing of 2022, you're going to say, Jennifer, no, you didn't. But I actually had leftover money in some of my 2022 sinking funds that I didn't use. And one of those was my birthday envelope. And so when I took the cash I had left over from my birthday envelope from 2022 and I added it to my 2023 envelope, I reached my goal, which was really exciting. Now I'm planning on doing this year what I did last year, which was basically what I called a sinking fund snowball. When I finish a sinking fund by reaching goal, I'm going to still put that money, that dollar amount that I was contributing to that envelope, into my sinking funds. I'm just going to put it into a different sinking fund that hasn't reached goal yet. And I'm going to keep doing that until each of my sinking funds reaches goal. That's going to allow me to reach goal more quickly. So I'll point out where the extra cash from my birthday sinking fund that I'm no longer contributing to went once we get there. Travel is going to remain a rolling sinking fund for me. It'll be getting $50. Black Friday is a new sinking fund. It's going to get $25. Christmas is also going to get $25. Subscriptions is getting $15. Medical is getting $20. Car insurance and taxes is getting $110. Holidays is getting $45. Now it does not usually get $45. It is getting $45 because it's getting its usual amount plus what birthdays would have gotten. And the reason I did that is because holidays is my sinking fund that's next closest to reaching goal. Giving is a new sinking fund. It'll be getting $50. Car maintenance usually gets $50, but we're actually only $47 from goal. And so that $47 is what we have down here. And then RN/APRN licenses is going to be a sinking fund you're only going to see for the first 2 months of the year. I have to pay for my RN and APRN licenses every year. They're due in my birthday month, which is March. So I'm contributing $100 this paycheck for that. If I add all of my sinking funds together, they equal $487. And if I subtract that from the $2,474 we were left with after paying my bills and contributing to my variable expenses, we have $1,987. Next, we're going to go into my extra debt section. So I did purchase a vehicle in June 2022. I have a car loan. That and my student loans are the only two debts that I have. Student loans are still currently on hold, and so I'm not actively paying towards them right now. I am, however, trying to actively pay off my car loan more quickly. I'm also trying to save for a house. My priority, I would say at this point, is still house savings over paying off my car, but I want to, if I can, every pay period be putting some extra money towards my car debt. So for this paycheck, with that $1,987 we had left after my sinking funds, I'm putting $500 towards my car, which is a little bit more than my usual monthly car payment. And that's leaving us with $1,487, which is going down to the extra savings section and is going to go immediately into my house savings account. After I make that contribution, we're left with $0, which is exactly what we want. For my cash envelope breakdown for this paycheck, things are probably a little bit more varied than I would say they normally are, but I feel like my cash envelope breakdown hasn't been normal in several months. I always try to do largest denominations possible, and the reason why I try to do that is for a couple of different reasons. For sinking funds, that's just the easiest thing to do because it'll bulk up my envelopes the least. In terms of my variable expense categories, I find that if I have larger denominations, I spend less money because I don't want to break those large bills. So that's why I tend to go in that direction. Now, anytime that I have savings challenges listed in my monthly spread, I'm most likely pulling them from one or more than one of my variable expense cash envelopes. I do usually try to pull from my miscellaneous envelope, but for the last few months of 2022, I had to pull from multiple envelopes because there was just too high of values when factoring in the larger amounts for my 52-week challenge on top of the 2022 savings challenges from the Budget Mom. And that's a similar scenario that we're in right now for the beginning of the year because I decided to do the 52-week challenge in reverse. So I'm starting with the larger denominations now. Let's start with eating out. So I did up my eating out budget to $100, and I would normally just pull that in a $100 bill, but because I need to pull $30, I wrote it lightly in pencil here for one of the savings challenges from the Budget Mom. I had to change up my denomination. So I'm pulling out that 100 in a 50, 220s, and a 10. One thing I do want to comment on, just so that there's no confusion, is that the Budget Mom is not coming out with a purchasable set of savings challenges for 2023. She does have a savings challenge Facebook group, and I do think that they're going to be releasing one challenge per month on that Facebook group to all of the members of the group for free. I know that they've already released the January one, which is basically starting your holiday savings for 2023 in January, so you have all year to save for it. I, instead of doing that, decided to go through the versions of the savings challenges from the Budget Mom that I had from purchasing them in past years and just pick one or two for each month to do on my own. And so that's where this Save $30 is coming from. For gas, we're able to stick with what I would consider normal denominations. I'm contributing $75 to that envelope, so it's going to be in a 50, a 20, and a 5. And then for miscellaneous, I upped my budget to $175, and because I do need to save $103 for the 52-week savings challenge that I'm doing, I'm pulling that out in a $100 bill, a $50 bill, a $20 bill, and a 5 singles. For all of my sinking funds here, largest denominations possible is what I pulled out. If I add all of this together, it does equal $837, which is what I will be withdrawing from the bank on January 5th when I get paid. And that's what you're going to see me stuffing into my envelopes when I post my cash envelope stuffing for this paycheck on Saturday. And that is it for the budget with me for my first paycheck in 2023. Very, very excited about moving into a new year and what that's going to look like for my budget. I'm sorry, you can see my the cord of my microphone over on the side here. I'm just really excited for moving into a new year and allowing that to almost like reinvigorate my excitement for budgeting. I hope that you all enjoyed this budget with me. If you have any questions about how I budget or how I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom, please don't hesitate to put a comment down below. And as always, please be safe. Bye-bye.